I can count on my fingers the movies I watched growing up. Peter Pan, The Wizard of Oz, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Those movies were fun, but none of them really stirred my soul. During those years, I was a socially awkward boy who spent hours building miniatures for an elaborate model railroad layout in my basement and shooting stop motion movies, mostly alone. I longed for human connection, but didn't know how to make friends. I couldn't figure out what kept me locked in isolation. Everyone around me seemed happier and more blessed with friends than I was. As I imagined my future, I feared I would grow old alone, and that thought pained me. Then one day I saw the 1980 film Ordinary People, and I experienced two life-changing revelations. The film tells the story of a high school student played by Timothy Hutton, who is just returning home from 3 months in a psychiatric hospital after attempting suicide. He goes back to his school, he sings in the choir and looks like he's fine, like he's got his act together. He looks like everyone who surrounded me in high school. Attractive, smiling, popular people who I thought were leading relatively perfect and painless lives. But Ordinary People's writer, director, and actors let their audience in on a secret. Unbeknownst to anyone in his life, Hutton's character is enduring life-threatening emotional pain. His mother, played by Mary Tyler Moore, is blind to his suffering. In fact, she's making it worse with her own resentment and self-absorption. I remember sitting in the theater on the edge of my seat, terrified that at any moment this great kid is going to kill himself. And nobody around him knows to be worried. That was my first revelation. For the first time in my life, I saw that people who appeared well put together and happy could be suffering great pain. In fact, could be at the point of self-destruction. I learned that I wasn't the only one pretending to be happier than I was. This revelation transformed the way I saw people. On my best days, it even elevates the way I treat people still, all these years later. And this brought me to my second life-changing revelation. For the first time, I saw the power of film to provide radical new insights, and I found myself irresistibly drawn to the possibility of wielding the sight-giving power of film. Decades later, these twin revelations that people are often suffering and must be treated with compassion, and that film has the power to give sight to the blind, remain two of my core beliefs. My experience watching Ordinary People redefined me. It created a boundary of before and after. I made a life-changing discovery. I learned a profound lesson, and a dream was awakened. That moment defines me to this day. Now it's your turn. Look for a moment from your teenage or young adult years that shapes you to this day. When did you discover the thing you're spending your life pursuing? Or the unique strength or talent you're cultivating? When did you make a life-changing decision or commitment? When did you learn the most important thing you know deep in your bones? When did a relationship begin or end? When did you experience a breakthrough of growth or healing or understanding? When did you really see for the first time? Get your tools in front of you, paper and pen, or a keyboard. And now quiet yourself and take the time to travel back in memory, searching. Once you locate the moment, inhabit it Look around. Notice what happens in that moment and also what changes in you. Make note of the details. Then write the story of this defining moment like a scene. When you're done, save this record of a moment that defines you with the others you've already collected. You can repeat this process as you search for additional moments that define you. Use the list of characteristics of defining moments to guide you. If you can collect 6 or 8 defining moments from your own life, you'll gain a deeper understanding of where you've been and maybe even where you're headed. You'll also be ready to begin the work of discovering the moments that shape the characters in the stories you tell.